China continues to deepen its ties with Africa as Chinese President Xi Jinping pursues strategic partnerships on the continent, a move that is being closely monitored by the U.S. and its allies. With economic cooperation and infrastructure projects at the heart of China's African engagement, Xi has emphasized China's commitment to developing Africa's economy, while also seeking to solidify political alliances across the region. This comes at a time when the U.S. is also increasing its focus on Africa, setting the stage for a geopolitical struggle between the two superpowers. Before we proceed, please like, comment, and subscribe to help us with the YouTube algorithm. In recent years, China has expanded its influence in Africa through large-scale infrastructure projects funded by its Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. These projects include roads, ports, and railways, which have provided much-needed development in several African nations. Xi Jinping has stressed that China's investments in Africa are based on mutual respect and are designed to help African countries achieve their own development goals. This messaging has resonated with many African leaders who see China as a key partner in their pursuit of economic growth. The U.S., however, has grown increasingly concerned about China's rising influence on the continent. Washington sees China's growing economic and political ties with African nations as part of a larger strategy to expand Beijing's global power. In response, the U.S. has ramped up its engagement with Africa, offering alternative partnerships and highlighting the risks of over-reliance on China. The Biden administration has expressed concern that China's activities could undermine democracy and development in the region. At the heart of China's relationship with Africa is a focus on development. Xi Jinping has promised to continue supporting African countries through loans, financial aid, and investment in key sectors such as infrastructure, energy, and technology. China has also made moves to support African countries in areas like education, healthcare, and agriculture, further cementing its influence. Xi has framed China's involvement in Africa as a win-win situation, where both sides benefit from the cooperation. However, critics of China's approach argue that the financial aid and loans often come with strings attached. Many African nations have found themselves heavily indebted to China, raising concerns that they may be forced to surrender control of key assets if they are unable to repay the loans. Additionally, there are fears that China's focus on infrastructure projects could overshadow other critical areas of development, such as good governance and human rights. The U.S., in contrast, has positioned itself as a partner that promotes democratic governance, transparency, and accountability. U.S. officials have warned African leaders about the potential pitfalls of doing business with China, while also offering alternatives such as aid, investment, and security partnerships. The U.S. has particularly focused on countering Chinese influence in critical sectors like telecommunications, where Chinese companies like Huawei have made significant inroads. As the rivalry between the U.S. and China plays out on the African continent, African leaders find themselves navigating a complex geopolitical landscape. While many African nations welcome the investment and development assistance provided by both countries, they are also wary of becoming entangled in a larger power struggle. The challenge for African leaders will be to balance their relationships with both the U.S. and China while pursuing their own national interests. This growing competition for influence in Africa highlights the importance of the continent in global geopolitics. With its vast natural resources and growing population, Africa is seen as a key player in the 21st century world order. Both China and the U.S. recognize this and are working hard to establish their positions on the continent. The outcome of this competition will have significant implications for the future of Africa, as well as for the global balance of power.